Hi everyone, it's Natalie here doing the Jason Vale Super Juice Me plan. I'm just going to do a video on the celery juice that I've been incorporating. You probably won't see much of me in this because I'm filming this myself. Please excuse the very amateurish recording. I was going to enlist the help of my son, but it's easier probably in many ways for me to do it myself because I know exactly what I want to be showing you. So please bear with me. What I've got is about 2 heads here of celery. I can't really see, I'm trying to be behind the camera and in front at the same time. I've washed them and dried them as much as possible. I tried to get as much of the moisture off as possible. This is based on and although I'm doing the Jason Vale Super Juice Me challenge, this is based on the Anthony William celery juice guidance, if you like, and he says not to dilute the juice, not to add anything to it, just needs to be pure celery juice, and you need to aim for 16 ounces as a minimum every day, although he does advise you build up to that when you're not used to it. So I'm now up to the 16 ounces. I'm just going to show you it using my Froothie Evolve juicer, because I think this copes remarkably well, because it's quite an ask of the juicers with this much celery. So I'm just going to get cracking. I'm going to show you what I have found is the best way to do this with this juicer. I think it does do very, very well. I'm going to just get started. Now I do tend to, unfortunately it's quite quiet, this juicer. I do tend to put the smaller ones in first, so I'm going to start with those. Also try to get your celery not too much in advance, because sorry, you're going to get a bit camera wobble because I keep tripping over the tripod. Don't get it too much in advance because they start to go limp and you don't want to be having to cut off the bits that have started to oxidize. So I'm just going to put these little bits in first. Just try not, and the skinny ones. Now strangely I find it easier to actually put the skinnier ones in, well, to put them in the wrong way up. And I don't know if you can see, I'm just going to try and zoom in on this. So I'm trying to look at the camera and this at the same time. This is where it really catches the celery. Now the little ones are a little bit prone to getting caught around the top, but they are fine after a while. So I'm just going to get rid of these little ones. That one hasn't, yes it has. So that's where I kind of aim. You're going to see with the bigger ones what it is that I'm doing here. Actually, I've just thrown that in. I'm trying to catch it. It won't catch there. Because you've got this quite nice area here for bigger things like apples. When you do have something like celery, I'm just trying to see what I'm doing as well as doing the filming at the same time. So I don't know if you can see, I'm actually holding the celery and it kind of takes a bite out of it here. And I just kind of hold on to it. This is what I have found to be the best way of doing the celery with this juicer. And I just give it some resistance and just hold onto the celery as it takes a chunk. Otherwise you are prone to it getting a little bit caught. That's probably most of the skinnier ones. It's going to be a bit easier to show you now. You'll probably see it a bit better. So it takes a bite and it takes it round. Now you don't want to do this too fast. This is so stringy and this is so it comes out very, very dry, the pulp, so it's quite a thing for this to be doing. And I tend to not open the spout of the juicer here yet, because I want to see, as you can see on this, you've got a, sorry, I'm now sort of doing a bit of a rock star thing with the tripod. I try to do it that I do as much of the juice as I want so that I can see what the measurements are on here. Now I've probably got a couple of stalks too much here that I don't need, but I'd rather, obviously especially for the video, I'd rather have more than not enough. I did want to just do this for you to sort of see. You can actually use the celery, another celery stick, as a tamper if it does get stuck. So I'm just holding it and letting it take a really clean, relatively clean bite. And then that last bit it usually catches on its own. What I have found with this juicer, especially if you do it too fast, is that you can clog it. And what happens is, if you go to try to take the lid off, if you try to take the lid off, it feels very, sorry, I'm sort of watching what I'm doing instead of watching what I'm filming. It does get very tight to undo this bit. So what you then have to do is you need to reverse it. There's a reverse button down the side here. You just need to reverse it. I'm just going to help that along with another piece of celery. It will catch, it will take it. So I'm not going to worry about that too much, because as I put another one in, it tends to... Sometimes it just goes really easily the whole way through, and sometimes it's just a few bits get stuck. So that should catch all those other bits now, hopefully. Again, I'm putting them in upside down just because I found that it's easier to do it this way. I'm not sure quite how to describe it, but it just is. I think it's that once you've let go, if you let go and it's a bigger chunk, it's the wider end, it's more likely to not catch. Just give that a minute for it to finish doing that. I don't want to overload it. So we're up to about, oh, I've got my glasses on, about just over 10 ounces at the moment. So again, it's this front corner nearest to you as you feed it in. Just you'll see where the auger, where the sort of corkscrew type part goes round. So it takes the bigger ones so much more easily. Recently in the shops in the UK here, the organic celery has been quite skinny little stalks, and they've even been putting 2 heads in some shops because they're so skinny. So if you can, choose the ones that are thicker stalks. They juice much better, much faster, and they're quicker to wash and dry. And also I go for the ones that look the greenest. Sometimes they're a bit more sort of yellowy, whitish colour. If they're a bit greener, I'll go for those as well. So what am I up to? Yeah, so as I thought, probably 2 was a little bit too many. I'm up to sort of about 16 ounces now, so I will stop it there. Leave those. Well, actually I've got a skinny-ish one. I'll get rid of that, and that will make sure that I've got the full 16 ounces. And I'm sure I'll probably get to need that other pre-washed now celery stick for one of the juices later on in the day. So that's a little bit stuck, so I'll just, sometimes this works and sometimes you do actually have to take the lid off. That should probably do it. That's caught it. So I'll just let that do its thing. Perfect. Now, I will just quickly show you all the pulp that comes out the other side. It really is very dense and very matte. So it really does, and it's quite dry. So it really does do very well to do this, to get through that much juice. So I will just position this so I can just show you. So by not having, you can have this open, but I usually prefer not to. So I'm actually, that is half a litre. So that's probably, it's between the 15 and the 20 ounces, so let's call that 17 and a half, so it's a little bit over. I won't get all of this in this glass, but, oops, I can feel it. I'm not looking where I'm doing it, I'll spill some of it. So, there you go. There's the celery juice, and I will now concentrate as I gulp this down, because celery is not my favourite food at all. If you've watched my other videos, you know that. So thanks very much for watching. I hope this has helped someone who might be thinking about getting a juicer for celery juicing. I've never done juicing before. So this is the first juicer I've ever had. I don't have any others to compare with, but I am really happy with it, and it is a very slow juicer, so it should get the most out of it. Just need to treat it with a little bit of care. If that lid is tough to get off, which it will be a little bit, I will just reverse that. In fact, let me just do that now. In fact, when you do celery, quite often when you reverse it, you do see some of the pulp working its way back up on the inside. So I've reversed it a few times, and now that comes off really easily. So I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it helps if you're thinking about which juicer to get, and if you're thinking specifically that you want to do celery. I've been doing these one a day for the last 1.5 weeks probably now. I'm not sure, I've lost track, but certainly over a week I think now. And it's coping with it very well every day, and bearing in mind this juicer is being used probably 4, 5, sometimes 6 times a day at the moment if my husband or anyone else in the family has a juice. So hope this helps. Good luck with your celery juice. I hope you enjoy the taste a bit more than I do, and I'll see you in the next video.